Grab a cold one, heat up those wings, and get ready to fire up your engines. It's Fanside on RaceCanada.world. With your hosts, Cam K and Graydon Bunn.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Fanside on RaceCanada.world, presented by Remax Jack. Start to pack and call Remax Jack. We've got one of the most dominant drivers. And when I say dominant, he has been like lightning in the NASCAR Pinty series ever since he started driving in the series. 2 wins in his very first year. Can you believe that? That's crazy. Kevin Lacroix is here on the show, and we are so excited. Kevin, welcome.
Hello. Yes.
First off, I want to say I didn't actually know your name first from the NASCAR Pinty series. I actually remember being a teenager and seeing you in the Toyota Atlantic series. You actually, I believe, won a race at Portland. I think it was Portland, maybe the second Portland race. And I'm curious actually how the experience in the Toyota Atlantics was being in an open wheel cars, because now obviously you're in full body stock cars.
Well, for sure, it's really the opposite. Like where NASCAR has big horsepower, not so fast in the corners. Where the Atlantic car is not so much powers, but very fast in the corners and big. The braking breaks really hard. In NASCAR, you got to be really patient on the braking. So it's really different. I think the only thing that helps for sure is all my life I've been in go-karts and then moving to Atlantic, and a lot of people think that open wheel cars or NASCAR are faster, but go-karts is really like the fastest reaction wise race car I think on the planet. And I think going this when you get to NASCAR, it's a little bit slower reaction, and you get more time to think and analyze everything and feel the car. So I think going back a little bit like this, it makes it easier to manage everything that's happening around you.
And you actually took a break, if I'm not mistaken, because I remember, watching as a teenager the Atlantic races, and then your name kind of went away. And then all of a sudden, back in 2015, here comes Kevin Lacroix, 2015 or 2016, coming into the NASCAR Pinty series. Why the resurgence? And did you take a break from racing within that period?
Well, yeah, I stopped racing in 2008, and for sure it was the worst days with the economy. So I lost all the sponsors and everything, and it's in racing. No matter how you have to be really rich to keep racing. So maybe I could afford one practice. But so I just quit when the sponsors left. I just quit, and we have a family business, so I kept myself busy with the business. And then the economy just came back to normal, and also we had the approach with bumper to bumper that we deal with. That's we have a situation where in our business deals with bumper to bumper, so we have good relations. And they came out with the new banner, the new franchise, and there's my cat. Sorry.
Don't worry, you'll see mine probably pop in.
So yeah, they came out with a new program for Canadian auto parts stores, and they wanted to launch, so they used our race team to do it, and it gave me the opportunity to come back to racing. And for sure, I chose the NASCAR series because all the good names, the good competition in the series. There's a lot of good drivers, and that's what I wanted. Also, just having money and go racing in touring cars and winning every time, that's no fun. So you need good competition, and that's what we have in NASCAR.
Yeah, you said it in your first answer when you said in the feel of the cars. I mean, you've driven so many different types of cars that you have such a good feel for speed and what it takes to make that particular type of car to go fast, which, I mean, you take somebody like a Kyle Busch or people that just seem to have, or a Chase Briscoe, people that have just that feel for multiple different disciplines, and it doesn't matter. You can kind of plug yourself into that car and in not too long go fast. And that, honestly, that's, you're kind of in that conversation. You like you said, you won in your second start in the Toyota Atlantic Series. You won in your second start in the now Pinty Series. That's like your magic number, pretty much, right?
Yeah, well, I guess just like, there's some people like this. I would say Austin Matthews, his first game with the Maple Leafs, 4 goals.
Yep.
So so some people that are better under pressure, some are stressed. When they're stressed, they're better, and some other people they don't manage this really well, so they have to be more comfortable. I guess I'm lucky on this way. I've always performed with, like I said earlier, the beginner's luck also. So actually, my first race in Toyota Atlantic was under rain. And we had problem with the car, and if there's a race that I would win, is under rain. So like, if I could know that there would be a Formula One race or IndyCar race or NASCAR race that is gonna for sure rain this weekend, I'll go.
That's your wheelhouse. Yeah. I was going to say that further to the different disciplines, also like what those different disciplines bring in, like racing in the rain, like that's your wheelhouse. I mean, we've been at CTMP for many of those races where it almost always seems to rain at some point in a CTMP weekend, at least particularly in May. That's when we're there most of the time. And that 74 car is always out front or getting up to the front anyways, passing cars like crazy. You have on your pit box, arguably Canada's Dale Earnhardt from the CASCAR series with Don Thompson. You guys, it seems like, and I say this with the utmost respect, I mean, I have huge respect for Don Thompson and all he accomplished in the CASCAR series, and to have him on your box, he was a fiery competitor, and I don't think it's any secret. You definitely have a competitive fire in you. What's it like to have Don on your box?
It's really nice, really. He's he makes a very big difference in the team, and he's got so much experience. Also, he's a really hard worker. So if he doesn't know something, he's gonna get the answer at some point. And he thinks a lot, and it's like he never sleeps. He's always thinking about it, and that's what you need to win. And I remember when we first started together, we had some issues together because he's got a lot of experience, especially on ovals, and the car has always been really good on oval. But then we get to the road course where under braking was not so good, where he was really I would say that he was feeling really comfortable about his car, but I was not, and so we had a little bit of our argumentation on this. At one point, I had to tell him that, look, you did a really good job with J.R. Fitzpatrick, but he's not a road racer. So you need to listen to me, and there's a problem. We need to fix this. And then he understood, and he went back home and he thought about it and he fixed it. So every time that he thinks it's something, he's just that guy that is intelligent. He has big intelligence in racing, and so I had he needed me to tell him that they had a problem, but he found it and we fixed it, and now we're good.
Right.
And all that.
That's the team thing. Like he had, like you said, he's a wealth of knowledge, but I mean, at the same time, you're the guy in the seat, giving him the feedback, and you're the guy on the road course pushing that brake pedal and mashing the throttle at the right times. And if it's not right for you, something has to be done.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it seemed almost as if when you guys did start that partnership, obviously coming from a road racing background, your best races are going to be on oval on road courses. But it seemed like you guys made a huge turnaround on the oval program, and you guys were running races. You won a race last year, actually, on the ovals. So, has having him around aided to your comfort on the road, on the ovals, or was it something that you just kind of saw that you were going to progress no matter what?
Not the same way, because you know how it is on road course. You know, you don't get around people a lot. You know, the leaders spread a little bit, and you get more room and everything. On ovals, it's different. You have to deal with people always long, and patience is not my best. So you know, at one point, no, I get to crash with some other drivers, or not crash, or just rub fenders, and I get mad inside of me, and then I get out of the car and I'm mad and I start screaming, and having him look at me and say, "Oh no, Kevin." So, well, he made me feel a little bit stupid. So you know, I had to think about it, and now gain some maturity, and so for sure, if I would have stayed with the road course people and keep the road course mentality. I would have keep doing the same mistakes all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually have some questions from fans that we actually threw out on Twitter to see if we could get fans to submit questions. We actually got quite a bit. So we're going to start off with Wade Yarrow, who's a very good listener of Fansite. We're really excited that because he had lots of questions for you. So we got to get to some of his. Your favorite road course and oval that's currently on the NASCAR Pinty Series schedule.
Well, road course, I would have to say Mossport, because I get a lot of wins, but really,
that's fair.
I think it's the old package would be GP3R, where I like quite any road course, and also for me, because it's a little bit closer to home. There's there's a good atmosphere really at this Grand Prix, and also because we get more people involved, and so on my side also the atmosphere is even better. So I think that's my favorite weekend. But track wise would be CTMP, and that's for road course. And oval, I would say Ducasa.
Yeah, you were pretty good there.
We were there for that win too when you got that in 2018.
Yeah.
We were sitting right in the grandstands, right beside some of your family too.
Yeah, that's always we do always good there, and the car is good, and yeah, I would say that's the nicest track for sure.
Yeah, so we obviously have talked about your road racing pedigree, and that you were in the Toyota Atlantics. Was there a period where you kind of wanted to go the open wheel route and go to kart at the time, or IndyCar, road racing specific to Rolex or IMSA, or was it always kind of, you weren't really sure where you were going to end up?
Well, I would say all my life I thought about going to IndyCar, mostly because the Villeneuve in Quebec. We get to watch Formula One, and I'm not the type of guy that likes Europe, or it looks good in Europe, but I like America. So I wanted to do a career in America, and that's like the Formula One of America. So that's what I wanted to do when I was younger. So that's why I was going to Toyota Atlantic, and but then it just I had to move on to something else, and until I got to NASCAR. And like when I got to NASCAR, for sure, I told myself I should have tried this way better, because I like IndyCar, but now I like NASCAR better. So.
And there's lots of options now that NASCAR is expanding onto road courses. Would you be interested if somebody called you up and said, "We want you to run an Xfinity car at Road America"? Would you be first flight once, of course, the pandemic is over? But you would be first flight out to run Road Atlanta or Road America, as I would say.
Well, yeah, for sure, yeah, but it all depends also on the team. I don't like to lose, so
it's a good point. It's a very good point. You don't want to go all the way there and finish.
With a team that has chances of winning. So if like with the trucks at CTMP, every year I got calls. We got a good truck for you. P8, P10 cars, maybe with UP5. No, I don't want a DP5. Like, be really good in DP5. No, if you're really good, you need to win. So that's, if I can't win, I just won't win.
So you hear that, Kyle Busch? We need to get Kevin Lacroix in your truck for this year.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what any sponsor, any owner would want to hear in their driver. Anything less than P1 is the first loser. And we'll just bring it up now. I'm going to say, first of all, during the Pinty's Fan Cave Challenge, after that race, I think you know the one I'm talking about. You came on Twitter, and you don't tweet that often, so I was flattered that you did. I got to kind of get into your head a little bit in terms of what it's like to be like on a restart and having the racer's memory, as Joel Robinson put it when he was on here. You're kind of you're the old school guy that you do have the long memory. As you said, you don't like to lose. And further to that, I would say guys like Tony Stewart and Kyle Busch and Kurt Busch, those are all guys that early in their career, I would say that I disconnected with them, but ended up being some of my favorite drivers. And even they're championship pedigree drivers, and I think yours is coming too. That's not really a question, I guess, but but I just wanted to say, it's more of a thank you, really, to kind of for you to come on and clear the air, and because that was sort of a presumptuous thing of me to jump on. We're kind of on the Hathaway side of things, but I just wanted to say thanks for coming on, and now I kind of understand a little bit better what goes on inside the helmet when that's that situation's happening.
Yeah, well, also I can add on this. It's funny, like the drivers sometimes they get a lot of emotion, but also their friends, their team, the crew members.
Yeah.
At the point that where Jason and I are able to talk.
Yeah.
Talk about it and laugh about it.
Yeah.
While our crew members are fighting.
Right. So it's a polarizing thing when those things happen. I mean, people immediately take sides, and maybe that's something that sort of transcends, like that goes outside of racing too. People immediately take sides to things when they don't necessarily have all the facts. And once you were gracious enough to come on and put me in your spot and spell it out for me, and I appreciate that. And that's something that I think a lot more people need, really.
There's some other people that they're trying to act nice, but they're not. So myself, I'm just transparent. So,
and that's it. Like those things that I like, anything that I say on Twitter, I would say in person. Like if it was me and you doing this, then I would have asked that question right then and there too. And I respect that about you. And I think we kind of found that out about each other over that. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think the best way that I like to describe it, and I was one of those people, as soon as you joined, I was like, holy crap, Kevin Lacroix from the Atlantic Series is coming. Yeah. And then you kind of just dominated right away. And it was almost a shock, because you were going out there and beating the Andrew Rangers. You're going out there and beating the guys that have been dominating. I want to talk about that because he almost feels like the perfect kind of match for you in terms of like a rivalry on the racetrack. Former Atlantics guys, former guys in open wheel cars, both French Canadians, and both willing to do whatever it takes to win the race. Now, you guys had a moment at CTMP where it took everything and you both lost the race. But one of the things that I would say, and I like your comparisons, Graydon, but to me, it's Jimmy Spencer. It's Mr. Excitement, because to me, Kevin Lacroix is Mr. Excitement in our series. You're not the willing to make a move. Doesn't matter who's in front of you. You're winning for bumper to bumper. You're winning for the team. And
winning for Kevin.
What did Jimmy Spencer always say? I never forget. Kevin Lacroix never forgets. And I feel like that's a perfect like tagline for your like race. Like, we got a shirt on it. Kevin Lacroix never forgets. Like, oh, it's perfect. Anyways.
I'm not patient on the track, but when it gets to revenge, I'm really patient.
Hey, yeah, man.
And I mean, that's I think why the series is so good, right? Because we see the boys, the quote, boys have at it full on in the Pinty series. You know, what other series do you actually follow in terms of, you know, your viewing? Is it Formula One? Is it IndyCar? Is it kind of a mix of everything?
Formula One, it's I'll follow the season, the preseason practice, and see which car is gonna be dominant, and like the first 2 or 3 races, and then you probably you get to you know what's gonna happen next. So,
yep.
Every year I tell myself I want to watch more of IndyCar, but I never do. I don't know why. And like I said earlier, I think my heart, since I've been racing and I tried a stock car, I think my heart is in stock car. So right now, nice. Pretty much every NASCAR races.
Yeah, and you've been able to see, because it's what's kind of crazy is that class that you were in with the Toyota Atlantics was not a fluke like team. You had Robert Wickens in there. You had Simona Di Silvestro in there. James Hinchcliffe in there. Rafa Matos was in there. J.R. Hildebrand was in there. So that was like not small competition.
It's a deep talent pool.
Have you kept up with any of the people that you used to race with, or is it kind of as people move on, they've moved on?
Not really. I during these days, like, my English was really bad. I couldn't even understand anything except for pizza or toaster. But
those are pretty good words to know, though.
Yeah. So I was there what they call my entourage. My family, and not talking to anyone. So that's no, I didn't do many friends there except for once. There's one year, my last year, I went to Indianapolis, and I kind of stayed a lot of did a lot of things with James Davison, that he runs NASCAR nowadays, but he used to run some Indy 500 and some IndyCar races, and so we kept in touch, but that's the only one.
So Randy Patterson on Twitter wanted to ask, and I don't know how much you can actually go into this, because it's not really, we're not going to go into the one, but what's your favorite competitor to race with? And I'm not sure if this is specific to Pinty's or if this is just overall, but we'll go with, we'll start with Pinty's.
Okay. Like you said, for sure, Andrew Ranger is the perfect match. There's a lot of drivers that I liked racing. Tagliani also. Even though we fight a lot after the races. Actually, it takes some time, and then he forgets, and we get back. I actually went to his house a few times to have dinner, and right now, like 2 weeks ago, I went I was 4 hours with him talking about his new amusement park or track.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's really nice. So we're back friends now, just a little bit like that way. But also, there's Kennington that is really a tough racer, but that even though you bang fenders and everything, he's never gonna crash you or break something in your car. So he like
Yeah.
the guy has the like total control on his car. There's some of the drivers when you're a little bit close, you get afraid because you never know, what kind of move they're gonna make, and not on purpose. I mean, but it's still dangerous. So with Kennington, that's nice. Even though he bumps you and everything, it's all under control. So that's really cool.
But-
Yeah. Also the same with Hathaway. I say like when we get to be a little bit rude on the track, we get out of the car, we can talk, and everything gets back to normal. But it's all I would say like the top 4 drivers will be tagging any Ranger, Hathaway, and Kennington. But also for sure the best one will be Ranger.
And I'm going to flip the wording of this because I don't want to say your least favorite, but let's just say the hardest to compete against. We know we talk about in NASCAR Cup, Ryan Newman being the hardest to pass, so let's just say who is the hardest to drive against?
I'll include 2 names in the story. First of all, LP Dumoulin. Not because I don't like him. It's just, I mean, that's funny because we all have different driving type, and I always get in his bumper, and it's not on purpose. He's just the guy that mid corner. He always breaks, and I'm not. So it's like
it's the driving styles, right?
Once, yeah, I even called him once, and I told him like, you must really hate me because I'm always bumping you, but it's not on purpose. So it's just different driving styles, and you don't expect him to break, and poof, there's a bump. But so that's every time I get behind him, I'm like, okay, hold yourself a little bit. I have to concentrate about it. So that's really tough for me to try to think about it and hold myself. But and also there's the other that it's never gonna work between us. It's LeBay. He's
Yep.
maybe back, but that's the one driver that the exact opposite that Range or Kennington or Hathaway like. It first started with really something small, and then I tried to go towards him and talk about it, and he's just not open-minded. So it's like I don't know how to say that in English, but it's
Oil and water.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because that actually leads into another question, Graydon, that Wade had. Do you remember that one or no?
I'm sorry, I don't have it in front of me. Just
well,
a minute.
It actually leads into what your thoughts were about 2019 at New Hampshire, because that I remember vividly howling at the finish because I was so bummed. That was obviously, it was pretty hard finish for your championship, but what was that like competing in the United States for the NASCAR Pinty Series at a bigger track than what you'd be used to?
Well, yeah, it's nice, to get to. I know they call it a short track in the U.S., but
no,
yeah,
not even close.
Super speedway.
Big track, and it was really nice. That second year was I think except the last 10 laps, but the first 90 laps I dominated a lot, so I was kind of alone on the track, and that's that's a little bit boring normally, but at the first year I got to do a lot of side by side with Ranger actually, and big tracks like this where you can run different lanes, that's really nice to have the chance to do it. But it's a really nice track, but it was a tough end at the end in 2019 for sure.
And I just wish that start finish line was just a little bit closer.
Yeah.
You would have made it right across. We've also got my dad's been wanting to ask a question for quite a while. So I was going to ask if you have a vintage car that you potentially have that you own, or if you had an idea of a vintage car that you would like to own at some point.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I do. I don't know if it's something that's going to happen because, it's pretty expensive. So I have to keep saving a little bit again. Still. I always told myself I'm gonna have a 67 GT500 and a
Nice.
2007, both side by side. I already have the 20 in 2008. I bought the 2007 GT500, and it still
Nice.
has 5,000 kilometers on it, so it's brand new. So it's waiting his father, but which I probably never will have, but hopefully one day I can afford it.
Nice. I have Wade's other questions here. It's sort of a two-parter. Do you have any dirt racing experience, and do you have the dirt car ready to go?
Well, dirt racing experience, except for the times that I'm off track, crashing or something. I've never been on dirt, no. So no, I'm looking forward to it if it's going to happen for real. But yeah, for sure, I'm definitely looking forward, and it's gonna be a very good experience. And also, we, like I said, we do have a fifth car that we're keeping for that. So I know that dirt track it's a little bit tough on cars, so we're keeping a car just for it.
Well, Kevin, we are so excited to have had you on the show. I remember chatting with you on Facebook when I had created a couple fictionals for you, and you said that the Joe Louis car would be perfect for you if they paid you in Joe Louis for Victory Lane. So, Vachon, we got to get you guys to sponsor Kevin Lacroix because that needs to happen. We see Cole Custer downing the beers, but you got to get you with a Joe Louis in each hand. I think it writes itself. We want to give you an opportunity because what we like to do here on Fanside is thank the sponsors, and they're the ones that are able to get you to the track. So this is your moment to thank your sponsorship.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said earlier, I've always dreamed about racing, and bumper to bumper and Total also. It all happened the same year with them together came to me and offered me the opportunity to come back to racing. And everybody
Nice.
that knows me just a little bit, that was my dream, and I'm forever thankful to them that made it happen.
Well, we're very grateful for Remax Jack to help get this interview to happen. So we want to thank him for sponsoring this episode. Kevin, thank you so much. We really hope we get to see the NASCAR Pinty Series at the track this year. Fingers are crossed that we get to have a full season with fans, and that we get to see that 74 finally scrap that third and second and fifth place in the championship and go for where it needs to be, number one, where it's really kind of been the past couple of years. So all the best in the off season, and we hope to see you at the track very soon.
Yes, thank you very much, guys. And it was fun, and anytime text me, and I'm available.
All right.
Awesome. So much, on behalf of my kids too, Kevin, thanks a lot, and myself as well. Thanks a lot, man.
Thanks for listening, race fans. Time to enjoy some wings and some racing. We'll catch you next week on Race Canada Fanside. Don't forget, you can find Cam on social media at Cam K Racing. Or Graydon on Twitter at Smooth Operator.